Hey, this is the Daily Overpass. My name is Eric and I make apps. Now today I want to talk about how it's not just one thing, it's a lot of little things. So a few years ago, I got an email from a developer friend of mine. This was after I'd released my first few apps and I was starting to get some downloads and get some revenue, and things were going pretty well. But it was like after a year of releasing this app and constantly working to get the downloads up and everything. So I got an email from a developer friend who I used to work with saying, "Hey Eric, I just released my first app. Can you tell me how I should market it?" Right? And it was just, how should I market my app? Was just such a simple question with such a complex answer, right? Because I knew by this point, I knew how hard it was to get people actually into the app. Even back then, this was back in 2013, 2014, and it's harder now, right? But it was such a simple question with such a hard answer, because it was like, to me, it always sounded like someone saying, "Hey, I just gave birth to my first child. Can you tell me how to raise it?" Right? It's there's like, that's a conversation. That's a huge conversation, and there's lots of different methods. It depends on the market, depends on the niche, it depends on how crowded things are, depends on how people are going to find it. I can't just give a one-word answer, check out ASO, although that's probably, if I had to give a one-word answer, that'd probably be it. Right? And so the thing is, it's not one big thing. There's not one big secret. There's lots of little things, right? And one of my problems, one of the reasons why I may not be best at giving advice in that matter, is because I don't just do one thing. For me, when I'm on the line, right? It's the same. When I look for a job, I don't just send out a CV to one place, wait to hear back, and then send out a CV to another place. No, I do everything. So I do everything that I should do. So when my app is not performing well, I will change everything. I'll start doing every little tip and trick in the book, and then the download numbers start going up. And I can't tell you specifically what that is, because I don't have time to sit there and make a change, wait 3 weeks, make another change, wait 3 weeks and see how that does, because it's a very slow process. It's easier now with Google Play experiments and with A/B testing in terms of the App Store pages, right? Because a lot of times that's really what we're talking about. Get the download pages, get the download numbers up. We're talking about optimizing the App Store page. And I mentioned this before. If I had to talk about the biggest improvement I had by doing just one thing, it was localizing into other languages. So after about a year of getting about 1,000 downloads a day in English, and it was around the world, I went and I took the top 10 languages. I've done a video about this in the past. I took the top 10 languages based on the analytics of what people were visiting from, and I had the app translated into those top 10 languages. Both the titles and the keywords and the description, and also the strings.xml for what's inside the APK, and also the text on the screenshot. So if I had to, So at that point, I was waiting for all the translators to come back, and as they were coming in, I started updating the description page, right? And it was like, as I started updating the description pages in Google Play, that's when I saw the numbers start going up. This was before I even released the APK with the languages in it. So a lot of people get confused. They think I'm talking about updating the APK localization, but that was almost like it didn't matter. So there was a point where people were reading the page in Portuguese, and Brazil was just skyrocketing at the time. People were reading the description page in Portuguese, but more importantly, their search terms were coming up when they were searching for it in their local language, right? And so those numbers were going up, and it wasn't, yes, and they were seeing the app in English because I hadn't released the APK with all the strings.xml in it, because I was lazy and I was waiting till they all came back in. But that was like the biggest improvement. In fact, there was even one application that was called Chemistry Alley, where we saw the download numbers double on iTunes Connect by just going through and using Google Translate. It was just the nastiest translation you could do with Google Translate, and I went through and translated into local languages to all. I think I did every language. I think I just went through and spent like an afternoon to every language, and I saw the download numbers double there. But I did the same thing on Google Play with Google Translate, and it's all no difference. And it might just be because they automatically translate it anyway into Google, using Google Translate, but I don't know. So, but that's like just one, that's probably the biggest thing that I've done. But marketing your application is not just one big thing. I wish there was a one-word secret I could give, or a one-sentence explanation, or, you know, if somebody asked me like a simple question like that, but it's not. It's a lot of little things. A lot of you guys who watch the channel every day, or you had an app out there and you have app success, you know, it's not, there's no secret. And I always say it's not a map, it's a battle. It's not a puzzle to solve, it's a battle to fight each day, because even when you start getting the download numbers in, somebody could come over, take over the top spot, and you have to get back up there again. So anyway, but today let's ask an interesting question, and hopefully somebody will come up with a gem of an answer here. I talked about localization. What is the one thing you've done that's made the biggest improvement in your downloads? For me, it was localization, but I couldn't have started out with localization because I had to make sure that my English descriptions were good first before. Otherwise, I'd just spend a lot of money translating a page that nobody's downloading from into all these other different languages. But is there anything that you've done that's had the biggest improvement on your download? So anyway, ooh, it's cold out here today. That's it for today. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.